Hi, I'm Charlene and this is my kitchen. Well, welcome back to the second half for the vegetables that go with the chicken meatloaf. And I have already in a nice sized skillet put some extra virgin olive oil to coat the bottom of the pan in there. Now, not very much, just enough to glaze the bottom of the pan. And the vegetables going with this is a nice red skin potato cut thin. Some people say I cut these so thin you can make a potato chip out of them, which by the way I've done, and we'll do that in another episode. And I have cut the potatoes into fours and cut them really thin. I'll show you that in a moment on how thin I really cut these. Cut them about that thin, just so you can kind of get an idea. So I'm really good with the knife, but like your master chef kind of handling of a knife. And then with these we'll put a white button mushroom after the potatoes are done. And I know it's like I put the olive oil in there, but when it comes down to it, I am going to put water in the pan to steam these potatoes after I stir them. And with that, always have the trusty wooden spoon. If you got spanked with these, like my buddy Rocco, I've heard stories about the spoon that his mom broke. Whack on a hiney. Yep, I've heard those Italian stories. But, yes, always have your trusty wooden spoon. I don't like to use metal spoons on my cookware, even if it is a good, and they're not a sponsor, Farberware. I used to have my own Farberware set. They are a good company. They really are. And you're going to figure out why I use the water in the pan. I know you put down extra virgin olive oil. That's just to coat the potato, and you're like, oh, well, doesn't that keep it from sticking? Well, now you would think it would. Now, the steam from the water is really what's going to keep this from sticking. And you're like, well, wouldn't you use butter for that? Well, now you have all these fats in your foods that you would think maybe in a cast iron, but it also depends on what you're cooking still. But then in a cast iron, that's a whole different thing. I no longer have my cast iron, but when I do get cast iron again, well, I'll show you how to cook that and how to cure them. You definitely have to cure cast iron. Now have a good coat of the extra virgin olive oil going on the potatoes. And there's 2 minutes left actually on the chicken meatloaf, so I'm going to show you the coating on the taters. Yep. And that way you get a good idea. Nice glaze on those potatoes. And then, yes, I'm going to pull out that really nice measuring cup. And we're just going to pour, I would say, about 3/4 of a cup of water down in there. Lid that off. Let that steam, because when that is done steaming, that's when we'll add the butter and the garlic and the white button mushrooms in with the potatoes. And also our chicken meatloaf is just about done in the oven. It's got 30 seconds to go, and when I pull that, let me get my oven ends out for that. And I will show that to you when I pull it. You're going to love this, I promise you. I know you're going to think, well, it's just meatloaf. Well, not all meatloaf is the same. Sorry, I almost sneezed. Peppa is in the air. But, yeah, not all meat. Oh, 2, 1, and chicken meatloaf is done, people. Chicken meatloaf is done. It's time to pull that out of the oven. Yes, it is time to pull that out of the oven. Yay! Right? Now, I know you guys have been waiting for the revamp of the chicken meatloaf for a while. So, without further ado, shut that off. Let this cool for a minute. You don't want to have it, you know, like you automatically take that off there. You want to let that rest for a moment before you take the foil off. So let's let that happen while I go back to the potatoes. So yes, let's let that resting happen to that while I go back to the potatoes. It's just been one of those blistery hot days, and you're like, well, then why are you in the kitchen? Because I felt like making you guys some meatloaf to follow along the recipe. And some vegetables. So, now that these are nice and loose in the pan, and you won't have to worry about that because like the steaming of these actually brings out more vitamin and nutrients in your rooted vegetable than you would frying a vegetable. Yes, steaming actually brings out more nutrition. I know you can bake potato. Now, if you're camping, you can literally wrap up a potato in foil. Yes, bring foil on your camping trip. Do that for a reason. Because when you do that, wrap up your potato in the foil and put it to the fire. Just put it, you know, just right there at the edge of the fire where it's still hot, the flames are getting to it. You wait about at least 30 minutes, you pull it, and you have a baked potato right there at your campsite. Okay, well, I will show you this because I want to show you the difference between the cooked ones, which have more of a yellow, the non-cooked ones, which have more of the yellow, and the ones that are getting really cooked, which have more of the white. So I will bring you over here for that and show you the difference between the white one, which is right here, and the more yellow one, which is right here. Now this is the one that still needs to cook a little longer. This is the one that's more cooked. So we let that steam a little bit longer. And that's not going to take too much longer. Now you're thinking, okay, well, how much longer is this going to take? Well, that's not going to take much more longer than maybe 3 minutes. And while we're waiting for that 3 minutes to happen, this still needs to cool down. And we can just prep the table for dinner, which is never a bad thing to do, is prepping the table for dinner. My thing to do is always wipe down your table in advance. The way you always make sure that if there's any dust bacteria that is left behind, I'll be right back. that it's no longer there because you've wiped your table down. Yay. Anyway, I know that sounds a little goofy, but no, it's the truth. You don't have to worry about the bacteria after that. Like I said, I rent in a house where they have antique stuff. Now, aren't these the coolest? These are the coolest for like putting your casserole plates on, or let's say like when you baked something, you just put them out on these. Like my friend's house has like the coolest antiques. Well, he's a cool old antique. Okay, now I'm going to check the potatoes. Okay, well, that is looking better. A lot better. Oh, these potatoes are just about done. Now that they're just about done, I'm going to add in that butter, because that's what we want to do next. But this is just 2 packets of butter. You're like, wow, 2 packets of butter, that might be a lot of butter, but you have to remember, I use unsalted, because of my heart, or hearts in my case. In my case, it's too hard. So we're going to turn down the heat on that because we don't want that too high. And we're also going to add in that garlic because we want that garlic in there. Always want your garlic. Garlic is really good for your heart. It's good for cholesterol, whether it's good or bad. It keeps it regulated. It's just so good. Please do your research on garlic. Oh my goodness, people. It's just so good and healthy for you. And it's such an abundance of flavor. It's got the flavor factor to it. Spoon out. Like they always say, a spoonful of sugar. No, forget the spoonful of sugar. A spoonful of garlic keeps the pharmaceuticals away. Yes, a spoonful of garlic keeps the pharmaceuticals away. Okay, well the foil just went down on top of the chicken meatloaf, so that means that that is ready to go onto the table. And as soon as I'm done with this, gotta put in those mushrooms now. Oh my goodness. I wish it was like smell-o-vision and that you guys could smell the kitchen because it smells amazing in here. It really does. It smells amazing in here. As always, because I'm cooking. But you guys can follow this recipe, both recipes along very good. And as soon as I'm done with this, of course, you guys are going to see it plated. And I want you guys to always enjoy every recipe that I do. And follow it along to the exact. That way, anything you do when you go to the doctor and they ask, okay, well, what did you eat? What was the ingredients that you followed along? Okay, well, you could tell them, like, hey, this is what I ate. This is what I use. And they may be like, oh, well, wow, that's really healthy. Where'd you learn that at? I mean, you don't have to tell them it was me, but... And if you want to, you can steam this a little bit. It doesn't hurt. Keeps from having to put that little extra fat back into it. And also, you're also keeping the potatoes from re-sticking to the bottom of the pan because they will do that if you don't. I know I just put butter in there, but if you're using a pan like this, sometimes it will stick. But, okay. I've stirred that around good enough. And it really does smell amazing in here. Now, I am going to dump out the rest of the water. Put the spoon down and put my garlic away. Right right next to the fridge. Before I take you guys over to the table, I'm taking my meatloaf over there. Yes, I still have it covered. I'm going to let my friend uncover it. He likes to do that. It's the steam facial. So, okay, well, back to these vegetables. The oven is off. This is just about done. We're going to go over to the table in a minute. Yes. Yeah. Now, you would never really think about mushrooms very much. Now, I know they're a fungus. Pennsylvania is the mushroom capital. Yes, yes, it is. What town was that, Rocket? Which one? Kennett Square. It's the mushroom capital. You can look that up. And then also look up the nutritional value of fungi. And you never know. You may turn out to be the most fun guy in the world. I'm just making weird jokes today. But, okay, well, you know what? This, my friends, is done. And I'm going to show that to you after I plate it up over there. I will be right back to you. I'm going to take you right over there with me. Let me cover this up. The spatula over there for that meatloaf. Gotta have the spatula for the meatloaf, right? In case my device decides to die. Can't have that. So, you know what then? You know what part of the meatloaf belongs to the cook? The ends. The ends belong to the cook. Yes, the ends have always, for some reason, belong to the cook. Yes, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's light. It's very, very light. I usually try to eat 2 pieces of meatloaf, but this is very light. My old version, I wasn't able to eat. And look at the inside of this. Look at the inside of this meatloaf. It's not heavy. It's very light. It is. It's very light. And you can smell the sweetness off of the cornmeal. You can very much smell the sweetness off of the cornmeal. So I shall show you my plate. And that's how we shall end this video, with showing you my plate. And this is a very inexpensive and very healthy video, showing you guys. Also, anybody with the wheat allergies like myself, you can skip around having wheat so that you don't need it. The glutens, you can skip around that. And I will see you right here next time on Charlene's Kitchen. And yes, I know what you guys are probably thinking. Is it good? Is it good? Let me think about that. That's the best chicken meatloaf you will ever eat. Try it because it's the best. See you later and stay blessed.